Now, for me as a seven-figure dividend investor that earns around $8,400 per month in dividends, thinking back on some of the most impactful milestones during my last decade of dividend investing, some of the most important milestones was when my portfolio reached a point to where it could cover certain bills completely with my passive income generated from dividend stocks and ETFs all on their own. Now, I've told this story before, but several years back when I built my portfolio to the point to where it could cover my entire cell phone bill, and then later on when it could cover my entire car insurance. Even back in those days, that was very exciting to me, just knowing that if for whatever reason I wanted to use my passive income to cover some general bills for my lifestyle, I now could cover those bills completely with dividend income. Now, fast forward around a decade, I never used any of my dividends to cover bills up until this point, and I've only been reinvesting my dividends every month into more shares and more dividend stocks and ETFs. But sometime in the future, maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years from now, I do plan on using some of these juicy dividends to pay for some of my expenses, which is going to feel awesome. Now, in all of our lives, we have tons of expenses, things like transportation, things like food and groceries, utility bills. And that's why in today's video, I want to share with you guys 7 different higher yielding dividend ETFs that offer a ton of cash flow every single month. I want to go through these ETFs with you guys, share with you what they are, how they work, etc. And then later on, towards the end of the video, share with you exactly how much you would have to invest into each one of them in order to earn $1,000 per month, which then you could, of course, use to reinvest like I'm doing, or you could use to cover a ton of expenses, depending on your situation. So if you want to go through 7 different higher yielding ETFs with me, and then later on see how many shares of each and how much you need to spend on each one of them in order to earn $1,000 per month in income, then make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. My A to Z dividend investing ebook has helped countless dividend investors get started with their journey. And my custom dividend tracker that I'm constantly using here on the channel has also helped so many investors stay on track and allow them to see their dividend income in real time. Well, today I have another treat for you guys. I'm not only going to offer you my A to Z dividend investing ebook and the custom dividend tracker, but also just for a short limited time, I'm going to be adding in my brand new weekly dividend blueprint ebook to show you how you can get started with weekly dividend ETFs and add this into your investing strategy. This offer is not going to last long, so go ahead and click the first link down below in my description, and you're going to get both ebooks and the custom dividend tracker bundle. But like I said, please act fast because this won't be around for long. Now let's get back into the video. Now, why not start off with my favorite high income ETF, the NEWS S&P 500 high income ETF, or ticker symbol SPYI. Now, SPYI offers S&P 500 exposure, but then with the use of options offers a much higher yield than you would get otherwise. We're talking around a 12.5% yield, around 50 cents per share per month, more or less, is what this ETF pays you for every single share that you own. Now, the ETF's investment objective is to pay monthly income in a tax-efficient manner, which is awesome, with the potential for upside appreciation in rising markets. Now, like I mentioned, around 50 cents per share per month is what investors have seen on average over the past few years or so, which means it's not going to take you all that many shares to where you could probably get to a point to where it could cover some groceries, maybe cover your car insurance, or maybe your cell phone bill. Either way, like I'm going to share with you guys here in a second, you don't need that many shares whatsoever in order to earn $1,000 per month. Now, another one of my favorite higher yielding high income ETFs that I've held on it for a long time now, and that offers around a 12% yield more or less, is the JP Morgan Nasdaq Equity Premier Income ETF, or JEPQ, an ETF that's grown around 7% over time, so there's no NAV decay for investors that, let's say, bought it a long time ago, got paid a ton of income, because even with high income generation, NAV decay absolutely stinks. Now, like I said, this ETF also offers a nice juicy yield of around 12% or so, and offers you Nasdaq 100 exposure through a high income strategy. Also an ETF that I have in my portfolio, and that is definitely going to help me personally in the future pay for some of my expenses because of the juicy income. Now, the next few ETFs are going to offer you even higher income generation potential. This ETF, BTCI, offers you exposure to Bitcoin, but then through options offers around a 30% distribution rate. Now, keep in mind, anything that's going to offer well above a 10% yield, there's probably going to be a different layer of risk involved. And I think it goes without saying that Bitcoin is decently volatile. So again, if an ETF like this one that generates income from running call options on Bitcoin futures, this ETF could definitely have a generational run and offer investors like myself, because I personally hold on to some of this one, a ton of income generation and some upside. But also on the other hand, because Bitcoin is very volatile, things can also get ugly. But this ETF's objective is to generate high monthly income with the potential for appreciation based on exposure to exchange traded products, or ETPs, that have direct exposure to Bitcoin. And at least so far, when it comes to BTCI, no complaints. We're talking like $1.25 to $1.50 per share per month. And again, a 30% yield, it is not going to take much money at all, at least relatively speaking, to earn $1,000 per month and get to a point where you can cover some of, if not all of your expenses. Another Bitcoin ETF that I own and that I've been watching very closely is the Amplify Bitcoin 2% monthly option income ETF, another ETF that offers exposure to Bitcoin. Now, as a side note, I break down all these ETFs on my channel all the time. Check out some other videos if you guys want to see me break down a ton of high quality ETFs in detail. Now this ETF offers around a 24% yield, so once again, if Bitcoin stays steady, keeps doing what it's been doing as of recent, this ETF is going to offer some upside exposure, but also a ton of income generation. Now this ETF is like brand new, so it's only paid one dividend so far. We're talking $1.16 though per share, which still is going to make it, at least potentially, very easy to generate a ton of income, which is the whole point of this video. A few more to go through. The NEOS NASDAQ 100 high income ETF, an ETF that offers NASDAQ 100 exposure, but then with options offers a 15.35% yield. Now the NASDAQ 100 is decently volatile, so this ETF is going to have the potential, at least during most market conditions, to offer a ton of income, but also even some upside exposure, or if nothing else, trade more or less sideways. A 14.69% trailing 12-month yield, so this ETF, at least for a while now, has offered a ton of income generation and no NAV decay. Another name that's going to offer a ton of income generation potential is the 15% yielder OMA, or the Vista Shares Target 15 Berkshire Select Income ETF. This ETF buys into some of the biggest holdings in Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's of course, and then through an option strategy offers a ton of distributions, which have a targeted yield per year of around 15%. Now last but not least, before I share with you guys the final numbers, how many shares and how much money you would have to invest into each one of these names in order to earn $1,000 per month in income. MISTI, or the YieldMax MSTR Option Income Strategy ETF, the ETF that offers exposure to MSTR and has a 92% distribution rate. Now sure, as of recent, the distribution was pretty low compared to the most previous, but let's be completely real here, $1.47 per share for an ETF that costs like 20 bucks per share. The amount of income generation is honestly outstanding with this one. Now for those of you guys who are still watching this video, definitely drop a like down below and subscribe if you guys like this sort of thing. But here's the final numbers. If you want $1,000 per month in dividends, you would need to invest around $96,000 into SPYI, which would be around 1,920 shares. QQQI around $80,000 and 1,568 shares could get you there. OMA, you would need around $80,000 too, around 4,167 shares. BTCI, you need around 50K. JEPQ, you need around 100K. And lastly, MISTI, around $13,000, which is incredible. So it just goes to show that there's tons of different strategies out there, tons of different ETFs. And to be honest with you guys, for me, I'm like a kid in the candy store. I can't choose just a few of these. I own tons and tons of names across my portfolio, so much to the point to where I currently have 58 different holdings. But lastly, most importantly, I have a question for you guys down below. If I were to ask you which one you're picking out of this list to earn $1,000 per month in income, which name are you picking and why? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.